Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Joey the Veiled Cottage Witch, and welcome back to this new series that I started, one card in 4 decks. Today we are not going to use a light and see if that helps. I know that'll help the glare. Sorry about that if I'm blinding you guys. I am trying to work on lighting. And it's just bright enough today that I think we're going to be okay without the light. I'm working on it, guys. Bear with me. So if you're new to my channel, I'm a folk witch. I'm a tarot reader. I am an apothecary, an herbalist, and a metaphysical practitioner. And what I know the most is tarot. I've been reading since I was 18. And I just turned 50 about 4 days ago. So you do the math how long I've had tarot in my possession. So mostly I've had the most experience with this deck right here, the Rider-Waite Smith. Now this is a version of the Rider-Waite Smith that I've only been working with for about 5 years now, and that is the Radiant Rider-Waite. And what I like most about the Radiant Rider-Waite is that it is bold, it is brilliant, it is very, very bright. You can see a lot of the colors, and it's really crisp. And I really like that it kind of brings everything into more of like a digital instead of like an illustration. It just makes everything more detailed, and I love that. So it's generally the deck I teach from. Now, as I am teaching, what I usually teach in tarot is numerology, symbology, and metaphors. So that is what I decided to springboard off of when I am teaching this series. So this series looks at each card in different decks so that one, you can compare and contrast and see if you like certain decks. And two, it takes the symbolism from the Rider-Waite and kind of brings it to life in other decks so that you can possibly purchase these decks and kind of see it through a different lens so that you can interpret it a little bit differently. So that's kind of how I kind of look at what this series does for you. So I made this mainly for my students and for anyone else learning to branch out. Either they don't like the symbolism, they don't like the artwork of the Rider-Waite, or they're wanting to branch out. So with that being said, I'm going to talk about the symbolism and then we'll move on to the other decks that you see here. So the Four of Wands. Now, I did want to talk about the crystal that I'm bringing into this lesson today. So this is the smoky quartz. This is a raw smoky quartz, also called witch's fingers. Now, the theme that I get from the Four of Wands is stability. And not just stability, but the movement because of that stability. So they're in celebration, as you can see. They have their bouquets held high. They have this beautiful canopy with these 4 wands that are holding up these grapevines. Everything is in fruit. Everything is in full bloom, and they're celebrating. So I chose the smoky quartz because smoky quartz is grounding, it's stable, but it also has a bit of a movement to it. If you feel this stone, it's not like so grounding that it doesn't have any movement to it. It's very charged, but it brings a stability to you, but it also brings movement. You know, it's not anchoring, but it is very stable, but it allows movement, which is exactly what the Four of Wands does. You know, and I'm going to kind of quote my friend Bobby and Robert Fiera Tarot. He says sometimes the Four of Wands can symbolize a bit of tension if it's held too tight. Kind of like if four people are holding up a tent and you have too much tension, it can create, can be problematic, which is kind of what the Four of Wands reversed can do. But in this case, when it's upright, the Four of Wands has a lot of, let me grab my porcupine quill, my handy dandy porcupine quill. So here we see a couple. They don't have to be married, but it kind of looks like they are. You know, they're celebrating. Look at the fruition. And I always tell my students, when you see fruit, it means fruition. So when we think about the ace, you know, the Ace of Wands, that creative spark, we see the Two of Wands, the ambition. We see the Three of Wands, the expansion. The next thing is the manifestation of that expansion. Here we have that shown here in this canopy, the fruition, the manifestation of that expansion. So we have a right to celebrate that, right? We've got the stability, so let's celebrate that. So here we have the celebration of that stability. We did it. Let's party, right? So that is what I get from the symbolism of the Four of Wands in the Rider-Waite. So let's look at other decks and see if we can find that celebration of stability. So I have here the Uncommon Tarot. This tarot I have had in my possession for quite a long time. I love this deck. It is so unusual. Pardon me while I hydrate. And, you know, I just thought I'd pull out something different today. As you see, I don't have any MJ Cullinan decks. They're all quite small, and that's how you can tell. I promised you guys a switch up. Here it is. All right. So the Uncommon Tarot, let's look at that. Here we see our wands. One is almost to the edge here. And we see ladies dancing. Look at that. Now, we don't have a canopy, but we have flowers. You know, and then what I love is that we have these two women who are the living embodiment of the flowers that are behind them. How beautiful is that? They are the flowers. They are the fruition. They are the dance. They're the celebration. That is so beautiful to me. You know, they're liberated. They are, you know, living that celebration through the movement of their bodies. Just, you know, like this beautiful piece of smoky quartz. They're embodying that celebration. So I absolutely see that. You know, these four wands are strong and stable, and the flowers are the fruition, and they, the two women, are the celebration. That is a beautiful representation of the Four of Wands. Love that. Oh, I love this deck, and shame on me for not bringing it out sooner. But we're only 4 cards in. And so you better believe I will be bringing this deck out again. There will be repeating. I mean, I don't have 78 decks. So you know I will be bringing this deck out again. I love this deck. So moving on, we've got the Wildwood Tarot. And so let's see if we can find that symbolism here. Wow, look at this. Holy fire, holy fire. And here in the Wildwood Tarot, they have bows instead of wands. So they have vessels, bows, arrows, and stones. So here we have 4 of bows, and we actually have the word celebration. I'll bring that closer, you can see it. 4 of bows, celebration. They've got their bows in the air, 4 of them. They're dancing around this beautiful fire. They're holding hands. They are the living celebration. There's no fruit. There's no flowers, but look at that fire. It is spreading just like the celebration. The fire is the fruition. I love that. Think about how infectious dancing is. You know, you see people dancing, it makes you want to dance. Even just tapping your toe to the music. You know, dancing is infectious, and so is fire. Fire will spread really quickly, right? So knowing this, it makes you want to dance. It makes you want to start a fire, you know? It's passion. It's, you know, it's wanting to live your life passionately. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point of the 4 of Wands here. You know, we don't know why they're celebrating, and who cares, right? We don't know their story, but we know they're drinking. We see cups or vessels here. You know, we don't have to know why. And that's the great part of it. We don't have to know why. It just is. And I love that. You know, it might say in the guidebook, but, you know, we don't have to know why. We just have to feel it. And it makes us want to get up and join them. Love that. And smoky quartz is a fiery stone. It's smoky for a reason, right? Absolutely. And now we get to my favorite tarot deck that I own, the Anima Mundi. And I'll say that. It is my favorite deck, the Anima Mundi. Now, there's not a lot compared to everything that you see here. It is very simple. I will be the first one to tell you that. It is such a simple deck. There's not a lot to it. You have 2 wands going this way. You have 2 wands going this way, and they create a diamond in the middle. Now, if we were to look at our witch's fingers, our raw smoky quartz, we see that several points are going this way and that way, but it creates stability. Kind of like our 4 of Wands here in the Anima Mundi. With the way that these are going, could you not have 2 people here, 2 people here, 2 people here, 2 people here, and you could actually carry something or someone? You could make a stretcher out of this. You know, you could carry something big like a cauldron. I think you could. And look at the lively colors. You know, you have purple, red, white, and pink. The colors are celebratory colors. These are made in a stable format. So you've got stability and celebration. Even though they don't look like people celebrating and dancing around, it's a simple, subtle way of showing that celebration and stability without being obvious, right? You kind of have to figure it out for yourself, which is like why I kind of love this deck. And I'll be showing you more of this deck. Do not worry about that. Yeah, it's subtle, but it is there, right? So Rider-Waite, we've got fruition and celebration, celebrating that stability, celebrating that manifestation. We've got the living embodiment of that fruition, of that celebration. We've got the passionate, infectious, passionate celebration here. And we've got that subtle celebration of that stability here. So, what do you guys think about the Four of Wands in your decks? Please drop me a line down in the comment section on how you see the Four of Wands. How do you interpret it? And how do you see it in these decks? And how do you see it in your own decks? Please let me know down in the comments below. Let's get this conversation started. Next, we'll look at the Five of Wands next week, and then this Six of Wands, of course, one of my favorites. We've got lots of other cards to look at. We've got other ideas and lot of things to look at coming up. I don't want to bore you. Please let me know if this is helpful. Let me know. If it's helpful for you, I want to know. If it's not, I want to know that too. This has really been kind of fun for me. I really like teaching symbolism and everything, I like seeing symbolism in other cards. This is really fun for me, so I hope you guys enjoy it. For now, live your best life and live for yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.